What's going on, everyone? This is the story that has everyone talking, the news that broke and seemed to confirm what many already suspected about the Caitlin Clark effect. You've seen the headlines. You've seen the viral social media posts. In just her second season, Caitlin Clark was officially named a team captain for the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game, an incredible honor. And even more meaningful as it's happening in her hometown of Indianapolis. It's a powerful testament to her star power and the millions of new fans she's brought into the league. On the surface, it looks like a huge win, a signal that the WNBA is fully embracing its new megastar. But that's just the surface. That's the easy narrative, the kind other channels are quick to run with. But we're not like other channels, we dig deeper. Because what if I told you that behind this celebratory announcement is a story of shocking disrespect, a story of betrayal? Even what if I told you that the very players who share the court with Caitlin Clark, the same players benefiting from sold-out arenas and chartered flights made possible by her impact, just sent her the clearest possible message. And it wasn't one of respect, it was one of humiliation. Because when you move past the headlines and dive into the official All-Star voting numbers, a very different and much darker truth begins to emerge. And tonight, we're exposing exactly what happened with that All-Star vote. We'll show you the hard evidence and break down how Caitlin Clark is reacting to what may be one of the most public betrayals of her young career. You're going to want to stick around for this one. Let's dive into the numbers, because the data doesn't lie. The WNBA All-Star voting process is divided into three groups: fans, media, and players, each accounting for a specific percentage of the final results. Let's start with the fans. This is where the Caitlin Clark effect is undeniable. She didn't just receive a high number of votes, she shattered the all-time record with nearly 1.3 million fan votes. A complete landslide. The fans, the people who buy tickets, watch games, and drive this new era of the league, voted her as the undisputed #1 guard. Next is the media vote, which includes analysts and journalists who evaluate players based on performance, not hype. Despite some ups and downs this season, the media ranked Caitlin Clark as the third best guard in the entire league, an elite acknowledgement of her massive impact on the court. But then there's the player vote, where the story takes a darker turn. The players, her peers, and competitors ranked Caitlin Clark as the 9th best guard in the WNBA. 9th. Let that sink in. #1 with fans, #3 with experts, but 9th with the very players who represent the best of the best. This wasn't a mistake, it was a message. Now, you might think, okay, maybe that's just one way to look at it, but we're not the only ones who saw those numbers and immediately sensed something was seriously wrong. When the full voting breakdown was released, some of the most respected voices in the entire sports world raised the alarm, and they weren't quiet about it. Let's start with a certified legend, ESPN's Dick Vitale. Having seen it all during his long career, he didn't mince words when he saw the numbers. He went public, calling it, quoting him directly, absolutely pure jealousy. According to Vitale, there's no other explanation for why WNBA players would rank Caitlin Clark as the 9th best guard. He firmly believes that one day those players will realize just how much she has done for everyone in the league, and he's not alone. You've probably seen the viral clip by now of NBA icon and analyst Charles Barkley. For over a year, he has been vocal about this issue. He famously looked into the camera and called the WNBA players petty for the way they treated Caitlin Clark. His words were clear: "Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all private charters. All the money and the visibility she brings into the W." When influential figures like Dick Vitale and Charles Barkley say the exact same thing, you know this isn't just a fan theory. They're confirming what millions of us see with our own eyes. This isn't about on-court performance. This is personal, this is about jealousy. Of course, critics and longtime league loyalists are quick to jump in and say, hold on, this isn't about jealousy at all. Some will argue, this is strictly about performance. They say the players see Caitlin Clark's flaws up close and voted accordingly. And to be fair, we have to be honest about her season, it hasn't been perfect. Caitlin has faced significant adversity, including a brutal shooting slump where she reportedly missed 22 of her last 23 three-point attempts. That's a tough stretch for any player, let alone a superstar. Her turnover numbers are also a legitimate concern, currently averaging 5.9 turnovers per game, the highest in the entire WNBA and nearly double the next closest player. So yes, there have been on-court struggles, no one denies that, but does that justify her peers ranking her 9th among guards? Not even close. The proof is in the voting data we discussed earlier. If her performance truly warranted a 9th place ranking, then the experts who saw the same shooting slump and turnovers would have agreed. Instead, the media ranked her as the 3rd best guard because they saw the full picture: her assists, the floor spacing she creates, and the winning plays she delivers. The players saw that same picture but still chose to rank her 9th. Clearly, this wasn't about stats. This was personal. So if the player vote wasn't about performance, then what was it about? To understand that, you have to realize this. All-Star snub isn't an isolated incident, it's part of a much broader pattern of tension that follows the Caitlin Clark effect wherever she goes. That tension isn't just happening on the court, it's playing out inside the Indiana Fever's own locker room. Take the recent turmoil surrounding veteran player Dana Bonner as a prime example. Bonner was a high-profile free agent signing, expected to be a key contributor to the Fever's rising core. But her tenure in Indiana was, to put it mildly, a disaster, short-lived rocky, and ending abruptly when the team waived her. So what went wrong? Reports indicate the fit was off from the start. The main issue was Bonner's unhappiness with being shifted to a bench role, a move necessary as the team centered its system around Caitlin Clark. The situation deteriorated so much that Bonner reportedly requested a trade and made it clear she had no desire to return. Think about that. A respected veteran joining a team only to leave in frustration because she couldn't accept her diminished role in the Clark-led era. This is a powerful example of the internal friction that arises when a franchise commits fully to a generational talent. It suggests that the resentment reflected in the All-Star vote may be just the visible tip of a much deeper league-wide struggle to adjust to the new reality Caitlin Clark is creating. But to fully grasp this, we need to go even deeper. There's an unspoken factor here, an elephant in the room that can't be ignored if you want the full story. The reality is, you can't separate this narrative of player jealousy from the complex and sensitive dynamics of race and privilege within the WNBA. Let's be direct. Caitlin Clark is a white superstar in a league that is predominantly black, with reports showing about 70% of players are black. Because of this, some fans and media have framed the situation as the league's established black players acting like mean girls or haters, simply jealous of the unprecedented attention a white player is receiving. But that's only one side of a much more complicated story. This situation has also sparked important and long overdue conversations about the historical undermarketing and unequal media coverage of black WNBA stars for decades. This isn't just speculation, players themselves have spoken out. Take Las Vegas Aces star Kelsey Plum, who is white. She has publicly admitted she received preferential treatment early in her career because she was straight and white, calling it absolutely a problem in our league. When you understand this context, the player vote is more than just a snub, it's a cultural flashpoint. It sits at the intersection of sports, media, and a much larger, more complex societal conversation. The disrespect is real, but the reasons behind it are tangled in years of history and legitimate frustration. We finally got an update on Caitlin Clark, who has been noticeably absent from the spotlight over the past few games. Hearing her speak to the media now is a major moment. Earlier today, it was announced that she will serve as a captain for the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game, having received an astonishing 1.2 million votes, a truly legendary number. Caitlin and head coach Stephanie White both addressed the media, and their comments are worth breaking down. Watching Caitlin during shoot-around footage, she appeared calm, focused, and composed. When asked about being named captain, she called it a cool honor. Asked if she would draft her teammates for the All-Star squad, she replied, "Obviously, I'm going to try to get my teammates on my team. Why wouldn't I?" On the surface, it sounded like a standard press conference, but with the knowledge that her peers ranked her 9th in the player vote. This wasn't just any media appearance, it was a strategic master. Caitlin refused to take the bait, avoided acknowledging the controversy, and denied those who snubbed her the satisfaction of public conflict. Instead of fueling drama, she focused on the honor, her city, and lifting up her teammates. While others stooped to pettiness, Caitlin rose above it all. Her dignified silence made the disrespect from others look even smaller and more pathetic. That reaction was more powerful than any angry retort ever could be. So, where does this leave us? This All-Star vote and the great betrayal it represents is about far more than just a list of names. It's a snapshot of a league standing at a historic crossroads. The WNBA faces a massive paradox. Its greatest asset for growth, Caitlin Clark, is also the source of its most significant internal cultural challenge. On one hand, the Clark effect is undeniably driving unprecedented economic growth, record-breaking TV ratings, sold-out arenas in every city, and the historic introduction of chartered flights for all teams. This growth will directly influence the next collective bargaining agreement, likely leading to significantly higher salaries for every player. But on the other hand, there's clear and undeniable resistance from some veteran players, made painfully obvious by Caitlin's 9th place ranking in the player vote. This tension could create a long-term cultural fault line for the league. The WNBA's future depends on navigating this delicate balance. How to promote a once-in-a-generation superstar without alienating or disrespecting the veterans who built the league. Every decision from marketing campaigns to officiating is now scrutinized through this complex lens. This isn't just sports drama anymore. It's a battle for the soul and identity of the WNBA, unfolding in real time. That's our take. We want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Was Caitlin Clark's All-Star ranking a fair reflection of her performance? Or, as Dick Vitale said, pure jealousy? If you appreciate deep, insightful analysis beyond the headlines, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. And finally, if you know someone who needs to understand the real story behind this controversy, please share this video with them.